We need sponsors. Yeah, Birdcore is in financial crisis. We've hit the panic button, truly. So we need sponsors. If you want to sponsor us, let us know. You know, maybe grandma makes gravy by the kilo, trying to sell it. Sponsor us. You know, you sell shoelaces at school to pay for your dog's herniated disc surgery. Sponsor us. Make something up, literally, and I'll read it as a sponsor because we need sponsors. Today's episode is sponsored by door handles. That's right. You ever wonder what's behind a door? I know I do. I don't know what's behind that door right in front of me. Might be a hallway. It could be an igloo. Who knows? You find yourself trying to get to the other side of a door. You know, maybe there's a pair of shoes there, a can of red matte paint. Maybe you got some loose jeans on. Hey, there could be a belt on the other side. I don't know. You got to open it, though. You know, maybe there's a fire on the other side of that door. And, oh, what are you holding? A fire hose? I bet you want to put that fire out. I would. You know, all thanks to door handles, you can do that. You can do all these things. This easy-to-use tool can help you open a door in just three. I stuttered. Great. No, that's so good. I stuttered. In just 3 easy steps. Grab the door handle, twist the door handle, open the door. Voila. Thanks, door handle. I appreciate that. Door handles come in many shapes and sizes. Round, a bit not round, and blue hexagon. Thank you, door handles, for sponsoring this episode of Birdcore. We would be stuck on the outside without you. It's like a dream of mine to completely blow out and like have to restructure my knee.
We've communicated and said, you know what? Lion tastes good. Let's go get some more lion.
Cindy! The TV's leaking!
McLovin?
Yeah. Today is Thomas Cup's birthday, and this is Project X. Yo.
All right, man. All right. There's wires all over the floor. I don't exactly have the biggest desk set up. Oh, my goodness. You ever roll over wires? And you're like, wheelchair? Not a wheelchair. And you're like a desk chair. That's what I'm doing right now. All right, y'all. What's going on? This is the first solo episode of Birdcore. I guess this is the second solo episode. Like, we did a solo episode at school in the studio, but the recording wasn't set up, so we lost everything. I said some stories about like how my friends and I used to go to IKEA, and we would break. Sometimes we broke a bed once. Yeah, that happened. Shout out Alex and Logan. And there was another time we were at IKEA, and this is really bad. No, this one's not good. There was another time we were at IKEA, and you know how they have like wheelchairs in the front? My brother got into a wheelchair, and you know, maybe he just didn't want to walk that day. He was just kind of tired of that. So he said it's a wheelchair kind of day. And my other friend was pushing him around, you know, just we put him up the escalator on a wheelchair. Now that I think of it, I don't know if that's necessarily the best idea, but we did it. Yeah. When we were leaving, you know, we had scoped out all of IKEA, looking at lamps and paintings and cinnamon buns and such. And my friend tipped my brother over in the wheelchair. And at that point, there was a lot of people around. And my brother's not going to, you know, he's not going to be like, oh, well, I guess the act's over, I'll get up. No, he stayed in character, for sure. So he was there on the ground, like flailing around, man. And I went to help him up. We had a stranger come help him up. The whole time I was mortified. But my mom, you know, she was laughing. Her kids were having fun, right? She's goofing around at IKEA. And, yeah, man, it's really bad now that I think of it. But we don't do that no more. Yeah, it's no more wheelchairs at IKEA. We actually don't even go to IKEA anymore. You know, I stopped liking it after I was too old for the ball pit. At that point, I was like, well, why should I even be here? What's the point? I don't care about a couch. I just want to play in the ball pit and, get a foot infection or something. Anyway, man, God, that doesn't make any sense. There's an IKEA here in Toronto. I went once. I brought my lunch and I ate my lunch there and I got a cinnamon bun and ice cream. It was pretty good. The cinnamon buns at IKEA are something else, man. Anytime I go back to Montreal, my mom will always get some goodies. And cinnamon buns from IKEA are definitely high on that list. So my health kick goes right out the window anytime I go home, really. Thank you, Mom. Shout out. Man, what day is it? It's April 19th. Tomorrow's 420 for those who celebrate. I don't do that anymore, though. Really, I can't smoke anymore. I get too paranoid, too anxious. I get too in my head. So I just drink like 4 or 5 shots of espresso every day, and that's my vice. That's what gets me paranoid and anxious now. I'm only human. Yeah, man, it's birdcore. So I don't have the studio at school anymore because the semester's over. I'm on summer break now. I got nothing to. I don't have nothing to do. I actually have a very busy summer lined up, but I got no studio to work out of. At least for a solo episode. I have a few guests lined up for other episodes I'm gonna be doing in a studio. Probably, I'm gonna be looking into that. But right now, it's just out of the basement, man. Today is it's Wednesday, April 19th, and it's about 1 in the afternoon. I work at 4 o'clock. Can't wait for that. And last night at like midnight, I thought it would be the right time to reorganize my entire room and set up this whole studio. So behind me, I got a lot of memorabilia, a lot of goodies. I got a Super 8 camera. So those of you that know cinematography and know film pretty well, you know what kind of camera that is. Yeah, I thrifted that camera for $50. Oh, my light just went out. God dang. All right, we're going to see if that happens again. It will. It will happen. I want to give a shout out to Cookie Monster. Yeah, Cookie Monster's the kind of guy who he eats a lot of cookies, but he never really seems to put on any weight. So I think his metabolism is probably through the roof. Maybe he does a lot of ultra marathon running to balance it out. A lot of slow, long runs to really reset his metabolism because there's no way that somebody could eat that many chocolate chip cookies. Mind you, in a very aggressive manner as well. Cookie Monster is not the kind of guy that I would want to sit down at dinner with. I feel like the whole restaurant will be looking at us. And that's not what I want. I don't want to attract any attention at a restaurant. I just want to eat my food in peace because I'm a messy eater too, realistically. Sometimes I only learned how to use proper etiquette when I was 17 or 18. Yeah, I was out for dinner once with my girlfriend at the time, her family. We're at this nice fancy restaurant. I didn't really know how to use my fork and knife properly. So I was squirting chicken juice all over the table. And at that point, we were getting looks. And so the next time I went over, her mom sat me down and I walked into the kitchen and there was a napkin and a fork and a knife and a cup. And I was like, but it was just one set. It wasn't a whole dinner set. It was, no, it was just for me. And I wasn't really sure what was going on. But she sat me down and she said, look, Sam, I need to teach you how to use proper etiquette, proper food etiquette, utensils, cutlery etiquette it is. So she taught me how to cut food properly. And it was very embarrassing because the whole family was there. It's not it almost felt like a bit of an intervention, I guess. Yeah, we all joined in for a prayer beforehand to pray the bad etiquette away. And since then, anytime I'm sitting down eating and I think about how I'm using my fork and knife, I think about her. Because I would still be eating like a hooligan if it weren't for her sitting me down and teaching me how to actually use a fork and knife. Was it weird? Yeah, it was. Definitely. For her to do that. but it paid off, I think. So thank you if you're listening. You know who you are. Yeah, man. So I put on Instagram. I'm on Instagram too much, too, I realize. I'm guilty of that. You know, whether it might be crossing the street, I look both ways, then I look down on Instagram. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm like on Instagram, which doesn't even make sense. I just get toothpaste all over my phone. Sometimes I find that I'm on my phone too much. Specifically, you know, I have like 4 or 5 Instagram accounts that I run. I do have my own. I have Birdcore. I have Football Show. I have Dart Check. I got a lot of shows that a lot of shows or a lot of accounts that I use. So I guess that's me trying to make an excuse for it. But still, if I could look at my screen time, it wouldn't be pretty. But speaking of screen time, I have a friend who is in the quarterfinals of Candy Crush, which I didn't realize was a thing. I didn't know that there were like a rankings and stuff like that. But she is in the quarterfinals. It's a competition for Candy Crush, and her screen time from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday combined on Candy Crush alone was 14 hours and 32 minutes. Just let that sink in for a second. So if I do some math, you're putting me on the spot. 14 and a half hours over 3 days is like what, 4 hours? So at least 4 hours in a day, you know, maybe 4 hours and 20 minutes on Candy Crush alone. So we're going to sit her down and have a talk. Just make sure everything's okay. Maybe, you know, tell her that Candy Crush is just an app on her phone. I think there is prize money, though. There's something like $250,000 if you win Candy Crush. I can never get past level like 30 or something. But no, you know, she says she needs to win so bad. And she gets anxious every second she's not playing because she feels like someone's going to pass her. So it's valid. That's competitive. You know, I like a good competitor. So I'll give her that. And on Instagram, actually, I asked if people had topics that they wanted me to talk about today. And one person, my friend Alex Antoniadis, said, "What is a sport? Really, what is it?" And, you know, I had to think about that. I know he's a big fan of wrestling. A lot of people think wrestling is just all play and all acting. And it is. I remember when what's his name? I don't know. The guy who invented WWE, he jumped on stage and tore both of his quads at the same time. It was funny to see. It looked like he probably hurt. But that got me thinking, like, you know, that's all an act. Because he had to keep playing that act. You know, he's screaming in agony with both quads torn, but he had to keep the act going. So I hesitate to say that that's a sport because there is an aspect of acting to it and performance. You know, when you look at the NFL or, you know, basketball, hockey, those kinds of sports, those team sports, there's no acting that's going on. There's no script. Mind you, people are saying the NFL is scripted. I'm not one of those people because the script would not have the Giants going to the playoffs and winning a game, but it did, so I'm not complaining. I don't know. I still would say WWE is a sport because, yes, they know what's going to happen, but they're still in amazing shape. You know what I mean? Like, someone like The Rock, who's in the WWE, he's still in that crazy good shape, but that's because he works out for like 6 hours a day. And then, you know, I would still say that's a sport, though. So is Candy Crush a sport? Maybe. You're competing. Like, what is a sport? If I look up the definition of what is a sport, you know, an activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against others for entertainment. Okay. A person who behaves in a good or I can't read right now. I can't read. Okay, so here it says involving physical exertion, but then would you say that using your fingers for Candy Crush is physical exertion? I mean, technically, you're probably burning calories. by doing it. I know you're burning calories through stress. I think stress can burn calories. Don't quote me on that. No, so I would say what is a sport is subjective because we've now determined that Candy Crush is a sport. And WWE, it is a sport, but there's acting in it. So, excuse me. What is a sport? I hope that answers your question, Alex. You know, a sport is something that if you're competing and you're passionate about it and you're competing with other people and ultimately there's a goal involved and one person is determined or one person or one group, if it's a team sport, is determined as the winner, I think that's a sport. I think that's considered a sport. So, yeah. There you go. I had to think about that one. It's nice to think on this Wednesday. Also, I hate Wednesdays. It's so stupid. On this other show, I do Dart Check with some of my friends from school. It's essentially we talk about like our top 3 favorite, you know, whatever. Like one week we did top 3 favorite bald actors. We did top 3 childhood snacks. We did bottom 3 days of the week. So our 3 least favorite days of the week. And I think I had Wednesday at number 1. You know, I like Mondays. So Garfield, I'm calling you out. I'm challenging Garfield to a UFC fight. I want to put everything on the line. If Garfield wins, I'll give him a year's worth supply of lasagna. If I win, I get to own Garfield. Garfield will become my property and my pet cat if I win in our UFC fight. So Garfield, watch your back. I'm coming for you. That's my official announcement for my fight with Garfield. So we're going to get that pay-per-view. It's going to happen. Garfield, you don't even want to know what I'm going to do to you. When I'm done with you, you're going to have to pray to whoever your higher power is, asking for forgiveness for letting everybody down who is in your corner rooting for you, because you're going to wish that you never met me. And I'm serious. So yeah, I like Mondays. I don't mind Mondays at all, really, because it's the start of the week. Like I can just grind. Get up early, which to me is like 7:30 or 8. Get up. Pardon me. My water bottle's all the way over there. But Wednesdays suck. Oh, that's good. Yeah, not a big Wednesday guy for sure. Because it's like the middle of the week. You know, I'm on summer break now, so do I care? No, I don't. I like Wednesdays now. But during school, I hate Wednesdays because it's the middle of the week. You know, Friday's in 2 days, but we still got to get through Thursday. We got to get through Monday, technically, as well. I mean, Wednesday. Silly. Freudian slip. But what was I saying? I don't even know what I was saying. Yeah. I don't like Wednesdays, though. I don't know what I was talking about. I had another question on Instagram from Logan. Logan said, do you prefer choke on the barbecue or tug on D's cuisine? You know, I just think that's a little bit childish, really. You know, I get it. It's all fun and games. It's funny to joke around. Choke on the, very funny. Tug on D's, hilarious, man. I'm dying right now, for real. Holy hell, brother. But Logan, you're almost 24, right? So, you know, I know you have a career now. Maybe we stop using lingo like this, just inappropriate talk. You know what I mean? Maybe it's time to grow past that, right? Don't you think? Jeez. Logan's going to be here in 2 weeks. Logan's coming to Toronto. And Logan's actually going to be my manager for my fight with Garfield. Yeah, for my publicity, my marketing team. We got some tactics lined up. But Logan, I prefer if we keep the the childish talk to a minimum. Please, I would appreciate that. It'd be so nice. Come on, man. And somebody else asked, I think it was Jack. Jack Wallace said, "What's the dumbest thing I've done at work?" Damn. Man, when I worked at this restaurant from the ages like 17 till 20, 20, 21. Yeah, I left just after I turned 21 because that's when I moved to Toronto. And like, around the time I was 18, I dabbled a little bit in recreational marijuana, as one does at 18, right? It's natural. It's normal. Don't judge me. I know you're doing it. Stop looking at me like that. Yeah, so on more than one occasion, I would be closing up. And should I be saying this? Like, I don't care. I do care. Like, I care. Trust me, I care. But he asked the question, so I'm going to answer it. Yeah, okay, well, I have a reason. So there was one time where I had some friends come in and, I was closing up. I was probably, let's say, half an hour from closing up, or so I thought. So my friends gave me a little chocolate. And I'm talking about the devil's chocolate. So I took an edible at what I thought was the end of my shift. Because it was going to hit, 45 minutes to an hour later. I would be on my way home. It's all perfect. I go home just as this is going to hit. Like, I'm going to be relaxing and stuff like that. It's going to be great. It's going to be so fun. I can't wait, really. And that didn't happen. No. So we started to get a little bit busier. Just before I thought we were going to close up. We had a walk-in of 8. And I was going, spaghetti-o. So the edible started to creep in just a little bit, and I had to serve this table of 8, and I'm going, oh no, I'm starting to get a little bit woozy, from the chocolate. It was a turtle, actually. The turtle candies, the turtles, the chocolates. It was a turtle edible turtle, and I get this table of 8. As the edible's starting to hit, and there's no getting out of it. Like, really, anytime you do a substance, there's no easy way to get out of it. You are in it. You're in it. You just have to. So I had to, like, sober myself up, or at least try to mentally. Which, when that, you ever been high or not drunk? You can't really sober yourself up when you're drunk, but if you're high and you need to sober yourself up, or you need to act a bit more accordingly, it's possible. You kind of just snap into it. So I did when the turtle started to kick. And I go to this table of 8, and I'm like, are my eyes all red? I don't know. But I know that at this point, I'm a little bit high. And they gave me their orders. It was like 3 like Bloody Caesars, like rum and Coke and different cocktails. And then I get to the bar to make the drinks. And it's like I have superpowers. I am making these drinks faster than I ever have sober. And the rest of the night went very smooth with the table. So this wasn't a bad story. Nothing bad happened. It just proves that I can function while I at work. Will I do it again? No. Especially not the place I'm at now. The restaurant that I'm at now is a very upscale, fancy restaurant in downtown Toronto. It's a big chain. And it is not the kind of place that I can do drugs. You know what I mean? But like I said before, I can't do it anymore because I get too anxious. If a customer started talking to me and they were like, hi, I would be like, what did I do? And it just wouldn't work out. And then, their food would come out. I'd be like, can I have a bite of that? Fully forgetting that I'm at work. So it's not something that I could do. But, I kept that job at the restaurant. I didn't do that that many more times afterwards. And yeah, no, and then it was good. The worst, so that was the dumbest thing I've done at work. Was probably get high thinking that I would be done earlier, and I wasn't. I wasn't done earlier. Man, I had this one job at Provigo. That sucked. Provigo, like back home, 100% French, so I was okay. I speak French, so it was all right. But man, this job sucked. I worked in like the bakery, and you don't want anything. You do not want the food from there. I'll tell you that. My brother used to work at Tim's, and he said that you do not want to eat the lettuce from Tim Hortons. And I've heard that from other people who have worked at Tim's. So Tim Hortons, well, I know not Tim Horton, he can't really listen to this, but if you work at Tim's, I'd like to know, is it true? Is the lettuce theory true that the lettuce ain't that good? That you shouldn't eat it? I don't know. I wouldn't know. I didn't really eat the lettuce from Tim Hortons because I was warned. Anyway, I worked at Provigo, man. And then I was in where was I? I was in the bakery, and then they moved me to the deli. You also do not want the food from the deli. And it was good. It was fun, but this was at the point where I started playing high level hockey. So I had hockey a lot more often during the week. And I had to like work around with my schedule. Sorry, I thought I was gonna belch. My apologies. I had to work around my schedule, and then I like getting time off, and I was like 16 or 17 at the time. So this is my first like real job. I refed soccer when I was younger. I was very bad soccer ref. One game I called 5 penalty shots in one game. The parents were not happy with me, but I just hit the ice in my veins and flexed on them. And so with Provigo, then I was in Paris with my dad, and I was texting my manager from Provigo, and I was going, "Look, man, summer's here. I got to change up my availability a little bit, if that's okay. I got more hockey, this and that. So this is my new availability," which is typical to tell your boss, right? Like, "Hey, here's my availability going into the summer. I can do weekends and like Tuesdays at 3 kind of thing." And I told my boss, and he said, "Sorry, man, that's not going to work out for us. We're going to have to let you go." And I was like, okay. Aren't you supposed to get like some warnings or like strikes or like written up before you just get let go? So I remember I was on the elliptical. No, not the elliptical, the stationary bike in Paris. And I got that text. And I didn't really care. I didn't really like Provigo that much. It sucked because it's stupid and it sucked. And I hate it. And Garfield would probably work there. But it was just weird that I got fired because I had to change my availability. Like, now that I'm really thinking about it, is that legal? Is that allowed? Could someone let me know? I don't think it is. So, don't work at Provigo. That's what I'm trying to say. But they're changing it now to a maxi. Yeah, which I think is only a Quebec thing. I don't know. I know it's not. I haven't seen one in Ontario. It's same thing. Like here, like there's Popeyes and Chick-fil-A, and in Montreal there's none of that. But it's overrated. So who cares? I got another question on Instagram from Nico. He wanted me to talk about Swedish foreign policies. So I'm Googling it now because I don't know much about Swedish forests policies. The foreign policy of Sweden is based on the premise that national security is best served by staying free of alliances in peacetime in order to remain a neutral country in the event of war. So what, they just like do their own thing? So they don't, like, they have no alliances, nothing like that? Is that what that means? The foreign policy of Sweden is, I just read all that. Sweden revises I can't read. I can't read. I can't do it today. The security doctrine still says Sweden pursues a policy of non-participation in military alliances. Okay, yeah, so they don't like join forces with anybody. They just do their own thing. That's like when you're doing like the teacher assigns a group project in class, and that one kid is like, "God, can I just do it alone? I don't need. I was that kid once. That's because my friend dropped the class, so I had no choice, and I didn't really want to work with anybody else. Actually, I did ask a girl if she wanted to work with me, but she was working with the high school or with our college quarterback. So I was definitely I was on the losing end there for sure. But okay, so pretty much what I'm getting from this is that I'm Sweden. So Sweden just wants to chill, man. Sweden wants to, be blonde, be good at hockey, have cool accents, and that's it. Like, if I look up best things about Sweden, that's probably exactly what it's going to say. Mastery of pop music. Okay, I like that. Gorgeous green spaces. Yeah, I'm still not seeing anything about being blonde. Swedish art in the Stockholm metro stations. Okay, so maybe I was wrong. But that's cool. So is that like, are there more policies to Sweden, or is that really it? Is it just like they like to be alone and kind of just work on themselves? Sweden's not ready for a relationship. Sweden is in the wrong headspace. It has nothing to do with other countries. It's really just Sweden wants to work on itself. What are the main foreign policies? The State Department has 4 main policy goals. Protect the United States and America. So they do have alliances? Literally, the first one is protect the United States and Americans. That's so. What about Swedens? Swedishes. Swede-eyes. What about them? So they don't want to protect the Swede-eyes? Advance democracy, human rights, and other global interests. Okay, cool. Promote international understanding of American values and policies. So it sounds to me like Sweden cares a lot about the states. My computer's doing the thing again where it's being really loud. I hope that doesn't pick up on the mic. I guess I'll find out when I listen back to this. Oh, it's getting really loud now. Yeah, so before, when I was recording, or when I was trying to record, before I had to go to the pharmacy and get the like micro SD card for my Rodecaster, I was trying to record on this broken, stupid microphone, but it wasn't working, and the computer was really, really loud. Like, I guess there's fans inside the computer, and I swear to God, this thing was about to lift off or explode in my face. I don't know. I wonder if I would live if it exploded in my face. Like, if I close my eyes and like, if I brace quick enough, I don't think it would be an issue. Because it wouldn't get in my eyes. As long as I like tilt my hat down a bit, I don't think it would get in my eyes. It would probably mess up the rest of my face. Yeah. What am I talking about? Yeah, classified military secrets leaked on Minecraft Discord server. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. The FBI has made an arrest in connection to a recent leak of classified documents that revealed sensitive details about the war in Ukraine and other U.S. intelligence matters, apprehending a young Massachusetts Air National Guard member Thursday, April 13th. 21-year-old Jack Texera, we'll just call him Jack T, who holds the rank of Airman First Class, allegedly shared the files to a Discord server primarily dedicated to Minecraft. So he's a snitch. Airman First Class. This dude's a member of the National Guard, and he's giving away classified documents on a Minecraft server. Dude, imagine you're like a 13-year-old just trying to build your home in Minecraft, and this dude you're playing with is like, hey man, look what Putin just texted me. Today, the FBI took 21-year-old Jack Douglas, again, Jack T, into custody without incident at a residence in North Denton. I promise you I'm more literate than what it seems. For his alleged involvement in leaking classified U.S. government and military documents, the FBI is continuing to conduct authorized law enforcement activity at the residence. Damn, but why is he is that like bragging? Is he bragging about like having these documents? What documents were they? And why are you leaking them on Discord, man? Some kid is just trying to make like maybe a swimming pool in his Minecraft backyard and a shed. And you're here telling him like what war is coming up next? He probably doesn't even know what war is. He's got math homework he's got to do. His mom is screaming at him right now. And you're telling him about how many doors there are in the Pentagon. A portion of these documents, which have been widely covered by the news media, focused on Russia's invasion of Ukraine, while others detailed analysis of potential UK policies on the South China Sea and the activities. I can't read that word. God. That's crazy. That's crazy. He's just giving away secrets like that. I wouldn't want to be that guy's friend. What if you tell him a deep, dark secret? And then he goes on Club Penguin. You know, he's at the disco party. And he's going, guess what my best friend just told me about his dad? Divorce. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be friends with that guy. But he's gonna be locked up good. So I don't have to worry about it. That's crazy. Wow, that's why I don't play Minecraft. Yeah. I don't do much. Something else I wanted to cover was, I was walking with my buddy Kit last week, and I forget how this came up, but we were talking about names. I think I asked him what he wanted to name his kids. I don't know why I asked him that. I think about what I want to name my kids a lot, and I've decided if I have two boys, it'll be Levi, Levi, and Beau, Beau. And if I have a daughter, it'll be Sydney, and if I have another daughter, it'll be Dakota. And Kit, well, he made fun of me for that first. But do names ever expire is what I want to know. You know, like in 30 years, are kids going to be named like Richard or Bruce in 30 years? Or are they going to, like in 2023, do those names expire? You know, like when a baby's born and you're like, oh, let's name it Clifford. Is the nurse like, okay, just so you know, Clifford's going to be out of use by 2030. That's it's best before 2030. I don't know. Really, I don't. But I think that names should have an expiration date. I think we should just keep coming up with new ones, because I'm getting pretty tired of typical names. You know, my dad wanted to name me and my brother Joe and Mike. So thank God my mom had the final say. No disrespect to anybody named Joe and Mike, but I don't want to be named Joe or Mike. Maybe Joseph, but just Joe? You look at a newborn baby and his name is Joe. He's already got a beard. I don't want to be named Joe or Mike. Just plain names, you know, respectfully, of course. No, but that's why I want to name my kids something like a little bit more modern and hip, if you will. I was thinking yesterday, what if I named my kid Elmer? And then I realized he'd be made fun of in school. So I veered away from that idea. Yeah, and I was telling Kid all this, and I was like, maybe names do expire. And then he said I plagiarize all his ideas. So yesterday I texted him and I said, what other ideas of yours have I plagiarized aside from names expiring? And he is yet to get back to me. If I look, yeah, no, he still hasn't gotten back to me. So clearly, there was nothing else I plagiarized. So Kit, you're stupid. Yeah, that night, Kit and I, we went to a party, and there was like a DJ like turntable there, and our other friend Izzy is very good on the turntables. So she was trying to teach me, and I was there for like 45 minutes at the table. I was like, this is a lot of fun. You know, did I know what I was doing? Nope, didn't. But I was enjoying myself, and I had Georgia there as well, and so we were kind of doing it. She knows a little bit what she's doing, and then Georgia left, and Izzy was gone. So at this point, it's just me at the DJ booth, if you will, in the apartment. And at this point, I kind of had a little bit of grasp of what I was doing. Like I knew how to transition a song into another one a little bit, I guess, but not much. And people were coming up to me with requests and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I got you for sure. Yeah, no worries. And in my head, I'm going, I don't know what I'm doing. So I put on a song, and I was like, guys, can somebody please come back and help me? Like, I don't know what I'm doing on this table. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And I have a friend who said he would teach me how to DJ. And I said, let's do it. I'm down. And that was 6 months ago. But now I kind of want to get one of those turntables, you know, because it was a lot of fun, I got to say. It was a good time using those tables. This water bottle smells like maple syrup whiskey, because that's what I had in it last night. Yeah, after I rearranged my whole room at 1 a.m, I said I deserve a treat. So I had ginger ale and maple syrup whiskey, and my bottle still smells like it. That's a little bit disgusting. All right, I want to do some birthday shout outs. April 19th. Whose birthday is it? Let's see. All right, who was born on April 19th? Do I know anybody born April 19th? I don't think so. All right, so James Franco. Okay, who else? Damn. Oh, Simu Liu. Okay, Simu Liu turns 33 today. Shang-Chi. Great movie, by the way. He was really good in Marvel. Yeah, and what else was he in? Recently. God, what was he in? Simu Liu. What were you in? Simu Liu movies. He was in a movie recently that I did. Oh, Barbie. I have to watch Barbie. Yeah, I also really want to watch the Super Mario movie. I heard that's really good. I've been listening to that Bowser song a lot lately. Peaches, 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 peaches. Yeah, Jack Black knows what he's doing. Yeah, that's really the only birthday that is like all these people here says like TikTok star, YouTube star, Instagram star. Like those aren't careers. You know, you're not going to be a TikTok star when you're 60. Unless you are. But at that point, AI is going to take over everything and everybody's jobs, and there's going to be no hope for any of us. But Simu Liu, happy birthday to you. Happy 33rd birthday. I know you're watching. I know someone who met Simu Liu once, and she wanted a picture, and he said no. But he was, it was at the Raptors game, before the game. It was obviously before the game because he was shooting buckets. It wasn't during the game, although they could have used him this year. So, but, you know, he was on his grind. So, and you know who turned birthday yesterday was America Ferrera from Superstore and other stuff. She turned 38 yesterday. And, you know, I find that's kind of a weird name. You know, it seems that everybody with the last name Ferrera has a bit of a strange first name. You know, America, Barbie from Euphoria. Barbie, is it Barbie Ferrera? Barbie Ferrera Rocher. Yeah, Barbie Ferrera. Yeah, so did all the Ferreras like come together and they're like, hey man, look, I know names are starting to expire. What is the strangest thing we can name our daughter? And another guy is like, well, I mean, shit, look what country we're in, right? America. Okay, there's one. What else? Oh, you know, my daughter likes to play with toys when she's young, you know. Barbies, I guess. Barbie? Deal, let's do that. Yeah, it was her birthday yesterday. And Al Pacino turns 82. That's in 6 days, though. That's not anytime soon. So we'll get to that when it comes. What else is going on, man? Let me go on Twitter. Twitter these days. Twitter used to be such a fun app. You know, at the beginning of COVID, I was on Twitter a lot. And it was just a lot of like funny like memes and stuff. And now Twitter has just become so much more. People, relationships are ruined on Twitter. People Twitter has made people so divided, I think. And it's unfortunate because people have used Twitter. Like, Twitter used to be a place where I would just go tweet, like, what's on my mind. Like, if I look at some of my most recent tweets, I talked about being at the Jays game and my LinkedIn post going crazy. I tweeted about sneezing and giving myself a concussion. I've tweeted about, last week I had a chicken sandwich and I think it had a conscience. Conscience. I think it had thoughts and emotions and feelings. That's what I like to tweet about. I like to tweet about nonsense. I don't care about, like, I don't go on Twitter to find real news. I go on Twitter to see the goofy stuff. My real news, I'll get it if I really need to get it. But, I just think Twitter now is, I don't think it's used for good. Yeah. I'll still stay on it, though. Something else I want to talk about. Last night I had dinner. There are so many wires on this ground, man. Whatever, y'all can't see that. So last night I had, okay. Last night I had dinner, and we had like a 3-hour conversation. It was the longest dinner of my life. We had like a 3-hour conversation, and we were talking about family, like upbringing. My parents had a pretty nasty divorce. And I take on like a very responsible role from a young age. My parents are good now, though, thank God. Some families that's not the case, though. I'm very fortunate that my parents were able to come to good terms in the end. I know a lot of people where that's not the case, and it's not easy. And we were talking about that. We were talking about relationships. We were just talking about like a lot of real conversations, and the question was posed: would you rather love in loss or never love at all? And I think that's from the movie Arrival with I want to say, oh God, who's in it? Is it Amy Adams or is it one of the other blonde redhead actresses? Arrival movie. Who's in it? Amy Adams, yeah. Jeremy Renner. Yeah, and that's from that movie. I won't spoil the movie, but essentially she knows what's going to happen in her future, but makes the same decisions that she makes, even knowing what's going to happen, and it affects her future. Is what I'm trying to say. That's not really a spoiler. So I thought about it. Would I rather love in devastating loss, or never love at all? And excuse me. I think I would rather love in loss. Because love, whether it be loving a significant other or loving, your mom, your dad, a sibling, a relative, that feeling when you're in the moment, it feels so good. And it's a feeling that you don't get to experience 24/7. But when you feel it, it feels nice. It feels really nice. And for this question in particular, you don't know that loss is coming. So you can't foresee the pain that you're going to feel. But that love that you do feel is a unique feeling. And it's different than just, feeling happy like your soccer team won a game, or, you got a good mark on a test, or your dog did a backflip and landed it, something like that. That's a happy. You feel happy, you feel good, but feeling love is different. So I would rather know what it's like to feel love, even though that loss is coming, because everybody's going to experience loss, and we're only human, and that stuff happens. But never loving at all is not something that I would want. I would rather love and take that loss and grow from that loss and learn from that loss than never know what it's like to love. Because everybody needs love. Everybody needs to be able to feel love. Everybody deserves to know what love feels like. And yeah, damn. Got deep for no reason. I guess there was a reason. It was a question that was posed and I answered it. Yeah. Well, look, man. I think that just does it for me. That's all I got for y'all today on this Wednesday, April 19th. Happy birthday, Simuliu, again. That's it for me here at Birdcore. I'll be back at some point. I don't know, man, but you be good to yourself. That's what Theo Von says. I can't say that. No, I can't steal his thing. What should my little catchphrase be? Be you. Just be yourself. Be you. Don't think about what other people think about you. Don't care about that. Just do you. Everybody's got their own things going on. Do your things. All right? All right. Well, I can't end on a stutter. All right, y'all. You have a good day. And I'll see you soon. And be you, of course. Adios. I'm going to drink my whiskey ginger maple water. All right. Godspeed.
It's like a dream of mine to completely blow out and have to restructure my knee.
We've communicated and said, you know what? Lion tastes good. Let's go get some more lion.
Cindy? The TV's leaking.
McLovin?
Yeah. Today is Thomas Cub's birthday, and this is Project X, yo.